So we started on Friday with a scripture from the book of John, chapter number 16, verse 33, where Jesus said, "For this world you shall have tribulation," trouble. There's going to be some trouble in your life. And so we've talked about finding resolution to the trouble. And the thing that we started with was to isolate the situation, to try to figure out and pinpoint exactly where the trouble is, because the trouble has caused your mind to get all just so full of stuff, and you find yourself to the point to where you're just all jumbled up, and you can't think to be able to deal with the trouble, to find a resolution to it. And then I told you, so well, you've got to identify who's involved in this and begin to isolate that to the point to where you realize, well, there's a relationship problem here. And then you have to do the diagnosis. Exactly why am I having this problem with this person? And as I said yesterday, it could possibly be that when you really begin to be honest and get down to the brass tacks of things, that you might find out that you're the trouble, that you're the problem. And then you have to deal with that. And that's not an easy thing for people to do, because they have to admit flaws. And most of us don't like to admit our own flaws. But it does require a focus. Now, there's a term that's called brooding. And I've asked people before, so, well, do you know what brooding is? Well, brooding, there's a definition to it. It's called non-productive thinking. Now, think about that, because that's one of those terms you have to kind of roll around in your brain a little bit to be able to exactly grab hold of what it means. Non-productive thinking. It goes like this. You're thinking the same thoughts over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's like a circle. And you're just constantly just obsessing on the same things. And what it does, it begins to affect your body. And it begins to cause you to have your blood pressure gets up. And it begins to manifest itself in relationships with other people. It begins to manifest itself in things that begins to break down in your body because of the brooding. Well, this is something we have to take authority over. And we have to bring ourselves to a place of focus. And you have to break the chain. You have to break the chain. You have to stop it. And you see, when you're aware of something, then you have the ability to be in control. And what you need is control. Because as we've already talked about, as you begin the process of isolating exactly where the trouble is, and you're going to stop just obsessing on it. And now you begin to focus, because what we want here is we want to resolve this and bring peace to your heart and to your soul. We're going to continue this next week. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.